Welcome to the Bear Pit Pod and the last of the season. Thank God.
Yeah, we're done, aren't we, after this?
Yeah, thank God we can have a rest.
Yeah.
Just get rid of football.
Thing is, I already miss it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't.
I do. I miss the fact there's no Stoke game. I know we've been awful this season, but the second it does end, I immediately miss the fact there's no Stoke for, 3 months? As bad as we've been, and as annoying as it's been sometimes to watch us, it's still the highlight of the week for me.
Jesus. I mean, I dreaded it.
I mean, probably that says more about my week than anything else.
Yeah.
But I still look forward to it.
You can find us on Acast, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube,
Spotify,
everywhere. We're everywhere. So go and find us. Drop a like, a comment, anything. It all helps in one way or another. The last match of the season, though, we beat a team that got promoted. We've done quite well against the top tier of the league. Drew, sorry. No, we didn't even win. That's how excited I got about that.
Yeah, it amazed.
It was like a win.
No, we played well, and we can't ignore the fact that Sheffield United come second in the league. They've had a great season, and we more than matched them. And I say with a lot of confidence, without any rose-tinted glasses on, that we should have won that game. We're the better team. However, Sheffield United were on the piss all week. I don't think they left the pub from the second they confirmed promotion the week before that. So that's a slight caveat.
They did well to field the team. I thought
I think they did.
Still be out.
Yeah, I think they did. So, I mean, I can't ignore that fact. But nonetheless, if you take into account the tour with Norwich from the week a couple of weeks before that one, they're 2 very decent performances against 1 and 2 in the league.
Mm-hmm. And then you take the games like Derby, Leeds.
We've done really well against the top 6. I was looking at the other day.
The rest of the league, we struggle.
I was having a slow afternoon, and I was just looking for the top 6 and kind of comparing our results.
You're worrying me because previously you mentioned about your week wasn't great, and now you're saying you had a slow afternoon and you're comparing top 6 results.
Yeah, I was. Like I say, it was a slow day. But I think bar West Brom, who beat us twice, I think we've competed well against everyone else in the top 6. Better than well, often. And it shows you, and worryingly it suggests to me that our some players get up for the big games. They think, right, I can raise my game for this one, for whatever reason. But when it comes to the lesser games, teams that are lower in the league, we don't seem to kind of find that fight. And then, complete opposite of that, our record against the bottom 6 to 10 is awful.
Terrible.
It's abysmal, absolutely abysmal.
But the highlight of that game, for me, the Vokes volley. That was a great goal. Yeah,
100%. Amazing goal. I mean, Brian scoring as well was great, but Vokes volley, I'm convinced. He's come under a little bit of stick recently. I mean, he's not played that much, to be fair. I'm convinced, I said it on the last pod we did, Vokes is going to be key next season.
I think he'll come good
absolutely
next season.
Key. In this system that Jones is leading towards, you've got to have a striker that it sticks with. He's clearly that player. And not only that, I saw the basic kind of the origins of a little bit of understanding between him and Ince. He was laying the ball off, setting him up with this sort of stuff.
Some good link.
Vokes is key. If we can keep him injury free, which is a reasonable ask with Vokes over the past 4 or 5 years, but if we keep him injury free, he's going to be huge for us next year. Definitely.
But we did eventually draw the game.
We did
not win like I thought. Who was your man of the match from that?
God, it's quite a while ago now, wasn't it? I think Etebo was. He's always a 7, isn't he? Absolute worst.
You could just write his name down every week and it'd be fine.
Yeah, I thought Vokes was good. I thought Danny Bat was good. Ryan was good. I'll go with Etebo. I mean, I can't even remember that. But Etebo is generally good, so I'll go with him.
I think that's a fair one. It wasn't even there, but I'm going to say Etebo. The lap of honour after the game, was there a few more people there this time?
It wasn't too bad. I think people had already resigned themselves to the fact that the season had been rubbish and it was done. And we did put in a decent performance. I reckon, what was the attendance now? About 25, wasn't it? Something
27,
like that.
I think.
I reckon there was a good, people are probably going to say I'm completely wrong here, but I reckon a good 15,000 stayed behind. Ish. I mean, that is purely based on my view.
It's purely based on you
from the
guessing.
setting stand, looking round. I mean, I could be completely wrong there, and no doubt someone's already frustrated at that, guessed by myself. But I reckon 13 to 15,000 maybe stuck behind after, which is surprising because pick another game from this season, it could have been about 3 people, and justifiably as well. It wasn't bad.
At least it's a step up.
I think they just wanted to say goodbye to Charlie. I think that's what it was.
I don't think so.
I tell you what, he shaved his head now, and it's aged in no end. That has
horrific. It looks like something straight out of a horror film.
It's bizarre. No, he's done that. Just get a hair transplant. He's probably got the money for that, isn't it?
Where does he go now? What does Charlie do now? Well, I know where he obviously goes, and it's like Radio 5 Live or TalkSport.
There's three options, I think. Of Rangers seems quite obvious one, been there before. The standard of the SPL, I think he absolutely fine for. Blackpool, and then he's gonna, if he's randomly listening to this, he'll be furious, as will Dundee or Dundee United fans. I know he's got an affiliation with one of them two clubs, and I don't want to say the wrong one, so one of them two. The orange ones. That's so.
I think it's United.
That's United, isn't it?
Yeah.
The orange ones. Well, I'm not exactly SPL, biggest fan. I think the orange Dundee side. The orange awful. Apologies.
I think it's Dundee United.
Yeah, Dundee United. So I think one of them three, I'll stick your money on.
Right.
If you were gonna.
You not think he's going to retire and he's going to go straight into media?
No, he's only. Well, I mean, he's only 33. I think.
He's fat and old though.
He's only 33. I'm not going to say a bad word against Charlie. I think
I will.
I know you will and have, but I think we've never argued on this pod. Al. I think as close as we ever got to having a genuine disagreement is over Charlie. But the Brighton and Everton moments from last year have sadly blotched his copybook a little bit. Stoke,
a little bit.
I think we'll remove them, and I think he's been an unbelievably consistent player for Stoke. A really, really good player. Real purple patch in Hughes' first season. Back end, he scored some great goals. Man United, Tottenham, he scored some crackers.
Do you know what's resurfaced this past week or so?
Chelsea goal.
No.
Go on.
When he was slating Shaqiri, who's now off to a Champions League final, when he said he didn't work very hard on Radio 5 Live.
I think
that's what one of the things that's
that didn't help. I did overlook
and
that.
That's not related to anything on the pitch.
I did overlook that. I mean, it was unnecessary at best, wasn't it? But nonetheless, I think Charlie's been a decent servant to Stoke. He didn't help himself. I'm not ignoring the Brighton, Everton, Shaqiri incidents, but I still think he's an honest player, and I wish him all
too
the
honest.
best. Well, in that case, he was a bit too honest.
So Charlie's gone. Fletcher's gone. Hogarth's gone.
The big three.
The big three.
I mean, Hogarth, he's had a touch on it. The amount of money he's made out of Stoke.
Well, the funniest bit, was when we sent him on loan to Wigan, and if they didn't play him, they had to pay us, and we effectively shithoused them into relegation from playing him.
Yeah.
That was some great business. I mean, our transfer team gets slated a lot, but to get Hogarth out on loan and make people pay per game.
I mean, do you remember was it 2-3 years ago now, where the back end of the season where Jack was injured? And Hogarth was consistently starting for us for a little spell in the Prem. He was poor. I don't know how he kind of managed to get himself signed by a Prem team. I really don't. But
another one for the transfer team.
Yes. Well played, lads.
Others that probably look set to leave. Butland. He's been courted by Watford, Bournemouth, potentially Palace, and apparently I think it's just a matter of time and a decision before he goes. He's got to choose which.
Yeah, it's all about how much we can get from him. We discussed it last pod, and I reckon 15 to 20 is the ballpark now for him.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we get more than 15.
Which hurts. I think only 12 months ago we were saying 30 plus comfortably.
Haven't we got to give a big portion of that to Birmingham as well?
Probably. That stings, doesn't it? Yeah, I always forget about the sell-on clause, which we never seem to put in players' contracts, but everyone seems to do for us. I forgot about that. So I think when all's said and done, we'll probably get... It could be as low as 10 to 12 for Jack, which is heartbreaking. And I thought we were on at some point 35, maybe 40 in the right climate, but...
Not anymore, my son.
No.
But we're apparently been linked with the keeper from Barnsley. Is it Adam Davies?
I saw the link. I don't know his name. I didn't look in too much detail.
I think it's Adam Davies or something along those lines. No.
Barnsley went up, didn't they?
Yeah, they've come up.
He's there.
Out of contract in the summer. I think he was in the League One Team of the Year in goal. So obviously he's been performing quite well for them. But apparently that's one we've earmarked for replacing Jack.
Yeah.
And another person that we've apparently already been speaking to, and it's a matter of time before we can announce it, is Lee Gregory from Millwall, striker.
Yeah.
Another one who's out on a free in the summer, 31 or 30 years old, he's getting on a bit, but he scored 15 goals last season.
In a poor team,
in a poor Millwall
down
side. And apparently wants to move north.
Who doesn't?
Exactly.
Well, not us, obviously, we're down here. But good signing, solid. I'm surprised at his age slightly, because Jones has kind of pushed this. He wants young, hungry players in, but you can't argue 15 goals in a team that really struggles. And I think
he's never going to be he's not going to be the man leading the line.
No, he's not. You get the impression he's going to be Vokes' backup, but that's going to be some backup as well. Really, really kind of a decent.
So
kind
take
of,
that.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Jones has come out in the press and very publicly said he wants to get 7 or 8 players in. I guess this is also quite dependent on who goes out. But he's named his 7 or 8 targets, and they've got a system where they're going to, for each position, etc. They've got 4, and they work the way down. So they've got the number 1 target for that position, 2, 3,
and
4,
the dross at the bottom.
And the dross at the bottom. He will probably end up with.
Yeah.
But he's named his system. Another one we've been linked with that's come back up. We were linked with last summer as Matt Ritchie.
We'd struggle, wouldn't we? Now I think last season we were realistically could get him because we were hot favourites, and
apparently it was all but done with Ritchie.
Yeah, but now I mean he's played a bit at Newcastle this year. He's not been starting left, right, centre.
I think it's that he doesn't fit into Rafa's system.
That'd be amazing, Scoop. We need wingers, and I think
we can offer him more money than he's probably currently on. I think that's still the draw.
Probably because he's probably locked into a contract that was from the Championship days, I imagine.
Yeah.
When he was with Newcastle originally. I still be very doubtful that we get him, but yeah, it'd be a real welcome addition.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Another big one on the ins and outs is Bojan. I mean, there was quite the situation that went on the other week. Where
wasn't a smooth announcement, was it?
The Sentinel announced that Bojan has been told he has no place at the club by Jones anymore. The Sentinel report this. Obviously, we report what the Sentinel have put out, and the club later on, within a few hours or so, released a statement saying the Sentinel have phrased it very badly. He's not been told he's got no future. He's simply been told he can look. It wouldn't be against him looking for another option. He's very much, if he decides he wants to stay at the club, he's very much still welcome with open arms.
Don't know about open arms. I mean,
no apology from the Sentinel.
No, reading between the lines, I don't think the Sentinel they have misquoted that situation, but I don't think they're a million miles off.
No, I think they did just phrase it badly.
Yeah, I think Jones has ultimately told Bojan that you're not in my plans. However, if you do happen to stick about, we can't sell you, don't leave. You can always work your way up to them again, which is pretty much the same thing for me. And I was looking at a load of the comments on that post and reading the oatcake and all the rest of it, and I think the tide has slightly turned now, slightly with the Bojan thing. For ages it was you must play. And I think a lot of people are exhausted with that saga now and just think, let's just draw a line under it, let's just get him out of the club. Not because he's a poor player or he's got a bad attitude, but I'm bored of it now.
Yeah.
I think it just needs to be concluded and we need to move on.
I'd hold no major grudges if he wanted to move on now.
No, how could you?
It'd still kill me, and I'll still write on Twitter that it's the worst thing in the world that's ever happened. But I can get it now. I can get it. It's still frustrating though, because when he come on against Sheffield United, he played brilliantly.
Very well.
Bright, unlocking passes.
He played like a player that knows he's not going to be here and just thought, for once, because I've always got the impression with Bojan, he's had this mental pressure to perform.
And shackled.
Yeah, but he kind of came on and I got the impression he's a bit like, fuck it, I'm going anyway. And he really played like a player that just didn't care briefly, and it reflected well. I think it will conclude this summer, the Bojan thing. It's been a long drawn out saga, but I'm happy that it looks like it's going to come to an end.
Yeah,
slash sad at the same time.
Be an interesting one. Be interesting to see what happens with Bojan. I still hope there's some sort of miracle that he stays and he is vital in that number 10 role for going up next season, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I did have visions of that it would have. After the Blackburn game, when he was arguably man of the match, randomly came in and played the full 90, I thought, maybe. But it quickly dipped off the edge of that one.
Petered away. Another interesting one on the in and out front is Badu, obviously coming back in on loan. He was in England last week, I think, or the week before, and he was on. I can't remember. He was on Instagram story. He was on, but he was on someone's. They were watching a game at home. I think it's one of the Champions League games.
Yeah.
So he's back in England. Nathan Jones came out publicly and said about he hopes to keep him in some way next season. And then another report comes out from Turkey, from Photomac, which is a publisher out there, and they say he wants to stay with Galatasaray.
Yeah.
So another bit of a contrast.
I mean, he's still our player, isn't he?
Still our player. They've still contracted to us. So Galatasaray have got to come up with some sort of package or fund, loan deal, whatever it might be, but at the minute he's our player. I
think this one's going to go in the way that he'll just be loaned out. I can see that already. I don't, because Galatasaray can't probably afford what we command the fee, so I think he's going to end up going back on loan. And I think it's a funny one, that Jones, because he really has, suggesting he wants to have a clear out, and then there's a player that he said that he'd be willing to give another go, or try rather keep, without really having seen him in a Stoke shirt. So I thought it was a little bit odd. If we're having a clear out, let's just do it. But
Yeah.
Good player, but it just seems a little bit
Strange.
Yeah, a bit odd.
Strange. Another major announcement.
Is it major?
It's major, Craig. Major announcement.
To that one.
It's this one.
Yeah, this is major.
Contactless payment
Party time.
everywhere next season.
Not just the McEwens, or whatever it's called these days.
Yeah. Everywhere.
You must be buzzing.
Over the moon. We finally dragged ourselves,
But I think
kicking and screaming into the 21st
when I heard
century.
reports that Crewe, Alexander and Nantwich Town
Have all
have got
done it.
these systems in place, I think it was...
You're saying systems, right? The ice cream vans have got it outside, for fuck's sake. The hot dog stands have it. It's not like they've got to go and tear out the ground and build in this massive infrastructure.
I know.
It's just something as easy as a
I don't-
card reader and a bit of phone signal. I mean, it was never hard to
ridiculous,
implement
wasn't
in
it?
the first place.
I mean, what kind of walks of life at the moment do you ever leave your home thinking, got to get some cash, got to
I know,
get some cash?
I know.
And frustratingly, on top of that, there was no cash point at the ground anyway.
Yeah.
So if you got to the ground before you got cash, you're screwed. You're
Ironically, when Britannia were first involved, we had a cash point at the ground.
done. I bet we did, yeah.
We went backwards.
We literally did, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I might bother to get a pint at half time now because at the moment it's just not worth
And
it.
hopefully it helps the queues.
Fingers crossed, because that's the concourses are bloody
Nightmare.
chaos at half time.
Nightmare.
That is big news, Al. I'm very happy with that.
Contactless
Very happy with
everywhere
that,
in the ground next season.
I mean, it just makes business
Hip,
sense.
hip,
It just
hooray.
makes business sense, doesn't it? They must have
You can
lost
spend
thousands.
more. Yeah.
I mean, how long's contactless been
I
knocking
must have
about
turned
for?
up. I must have gone to the ground about 4 or 5 times and had no cash get anything.
You're just stranded.
And I'm like, fuck me, I'm parched.
We must have lost thousands over the last 5-6 years, really, from like kiosk sales and all that sort of business.
100%.
There we go.
But we've got it. Now we've got it. And
Sleep
the
easy.
other thing is a new ticket system. They haven't quite alluded to more details of what this is, but it says a new online ticket system. I'm sure we're not this forward thinking.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's where you can get your ticket on your phone and scan it as you go in.
As Alexander,
Yes.
they've already implemented, ready for next
Hopefully.
season. So we can...
Completely do away with turnstile operators.
That's something that was baffled. I never really pondered this, but do the clubs still not trust fans to zap the tickets themselves? Because they've still got turnstile operators now. At the moment, we've got the barcode season ticket scanners.
Yeah.
Do they not think the fans can just do that? I mean, how much money does that cost us over the
I'm
year?
not sure. I'm not sure what the...
Because I go there and it's ridiculous. They've got these barcode things. I never really pondered this until recently. You go to turnstile with this, electronic system where you scan your thing. I hand it to somebody who then scans it, then gives it back to me. The first time in a week, I thought, I must hold on. I
mean,
might have the paper still.
You go to Wembley and places like that, you just go boop, you do it yourself.
Yeah,
You're in.
They trust other fans.
They trust you.
not so.
God knows. I mean, football fans can be football fans. You can't trust them all.
No.
But yeah, there's a new ticket system as well, and sort of a revamp of the website or accounts, or because you've got an account for Stoke City Plus, you've got an account for the
I hate that thing.
store, you've got an account for the tickets. Apparently, some of them are going to be merged. So
I hope one of my biggest pettes this season, when I've attempted to stream a game when I couldn't get up, was no matter how often I thought I had my password down, I knew my password, I just could not log in. I don't know if anyone else has experienced
I've
that. It
done
was
that.
so frustrating. I just gave up in the end. It's not been the greatest of seasons for that introduction, has it? The streaming thing, but still.
I hope the streaming is something that they're taking into consideration.
If it's
for
not,
next season.
the sound not working,
The sound not working, it's
the
giving you
screen
an epileptic fit.
flickering.
No replays. You don't know what minute of the match it is.
Carnage, yeah. Commentary but no fans but no commentary, depending where you
Do you know what? And I'm going to pull them up on this bit because I watched the last game of the season on the stream, and I say on the stream. I didn't watch it. I didn't pay for it because there's a guy on the Oatcake who just streams it in a
Just
chat,
this,
chat Racket Rob.
Racket Rob thing. Yeah.
So he just
I've not used that.
He's just been streaming it for free through the Oatcake.
Yeah.
Obviously using the main feed, but he's charging people £1 or whatever. So I hope I've not just got him in trouble. But
I mean, he's not like he's hiding it.
keep up the good job, Rob. But he's been providing the streams, and in this chat room, obviously it's even more interactive than the Stoke City stream because you can chat to people about the game and stuff. So it's already better. It's already better than what Stoke are doing.
I don't like Harry in my club, be it like no matter what it is. But briefly defend him. Do they control this stream, or is it like in the EFL? Do they control?
No,
the
they've not signed up for iFollow. It's something that we're putting on.
So it's the club job that they do all this stuff.
Obviously they've hired an external company to do it, but they're not doing a great job.
Bloody hell.
So anyway, because it's a Stoke City based commentator, it was a Stoke City commentator.
Right,
so
okay. I wasn't sure if it's just like an EFL.
No, it's our stream.
Okay.
We're charging people for it. Right, it's our stream, our service. So this Rob, on the Oakgate forums, he's got his own, he's a few rooms. You can go into these. Sometimes they're full. Not many people in them. You can't get in. But this is already a more interactive experience in the Stoke website. I can chat to people about the game. Everyone's in the chat room, watching the game, etc.
The club should hire him.
Exactly. And the lap of honour, right? Lap of honour happens on the Stoke City stream, done by Stoke City, for Stoke City fans, and all the lap of honour is pointed at the Sheffield United fans.
Is it?
For the whole thing, for the whole lap of honour, it was just pointed at the Sheffield United fans singing LA, 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 and whatever else. And that was it.
Nice.
And the people in the chat room, which was so funny because no one's paid, unless they've paid Rob a pound and the guy who's doing it, but no one's actually paid. Everyone's fucking, what the fuck is this? A Sheffield United stream? I threw a few comments in as well, like, what the fuck are our club doing? But the lap of honour, they're just watching the Sheffield United.
I like the fact that people that are paying £1 for it all getting it for free are moaning.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What about the people that pay £10 for it?
I did, 100%. I'm glad I didn't pay for it. But yeah. The streaming service is another one to...
Early days though, maybe they can crack it next year.
I fucking hope so. Or just sign up for iFollow, which is a way better experience apparently. And whilst we're hammering the club about the media and all that side, the huge, absolutely monumentous social media gaffe that happened the other night. Yeah,
as I said moments ago, I don't like to hammer my club. However, this was so ill-founded. What was he thinking? Or she? What were they doing?
Well, it wasn't John Sidway. He was quite quick to distance himself from it. Who was our former, I think he's still involved in some way, social media guy. He inboxed me on Twitter actually, straight after it happened. But apparently it wasn't him.
What to say? It wasn't him.
Yeah, he said it wasn't.
Actually, just for reference, people that aren't sure what I'm about, it's this the post.
It's a tweet. So West Brom lost 2-1, in the first leg of the playoffs against Aston Villa. They had a man sent off, but they could still very much turn this tie round and get promoted to the Premier League. We tweeted, we guess 11th of May just isn't your day, West Brom, with a few highlights of the time.
Because we beat them on 11th of May back in the day.
We beat them, yeah. It wasn't a cup final. It wasn't to get promoted. It was just a regular league game, and we thought we'll rub it in the faces while they've just lost one leg of the playoffs.
In the playoffs, which we'd love
in
to
the playoffs, whilst we sat and languish in 16th. That is one of the stupidest tweets I've ever seen. I quoted it immediately and said, lads, we're 16th. It came under so much fire.
It travelled as well, didn't it?
Travelled
a load of retweets.
So much fire that it was deleted, which shows that it was a mistake, which shows that we hadn't really thought about it whatsoever. And I'm not sure who's on the accounts at the minute, but I was told previously that every tweet has to go by Tony Scholes.
Every tweet?
Yeah.
Is that the best use of a CEO's time? Every tweet?
Well, you can line the majority up, can't you? You can line the majority up and get approved way in advance if they're all
If that is the case, he's the one that said, "Yeah, let's go for it."
I'm guessing he wouldn't have. I don't think that's been seen by many or if any other eyes than the person who posted it. But so it was deleted. It was then taken by West Brom. They obviously had got wind of what was tweeted before it was deleted. Someone had sent them a screenshot, whatever, and they quote retweeted it with, I'll have to find it so I can...
Basically, everything that they're better at than us at this season, being 25 points ahead, the fact they're in the playoffs, etc., etc.
So it said... A few reasons why... Stoke City. A few reasons why it was wise to delete this tweet. 1, you finished 16th. 2, we beat you twice this year. 3, you finished 25 points behind us. 4, your season was over in Feb. 5, 46 games, just 45 goals. Again, you finished 16th. Get back to the beach. And that tweet is... God knows what it's on now, but last time I checked it was on about 100,000 likes. 25,000 odd retweets. Let's have a look now. 25,000 retweets, 116,000 likes. The impressions on that tweet must be touching the 2 or 3, maybe 4 million barrier. That's how many people have probably looked at that tweet and laughed at our social media team, not including the amount of press it's got from your Joes, your Daily Mail, your all your publishers, Soccer AM, all that sort of stuff who've referenced it in some way. So that is one of the biggest social media gaffes our team has ever done. Up there with the ambition tweet for Hesse.
Still, you got a name out there, didn't it?
Got a name out there. I mean, it was in a very bad light, but
any press is good press, isn't it?
you know, if anyone's listening from the club now, you know, and I've seen it debated on the Oatcake forum because I've actually gone on just to see the discussion about this because obviously it's an area that I'm quite involved in, social media. It's my job. The person shouldn't be sacked because I've seen calls for people saying, you know, sack the person who did it. The person shouldn't be sacked. No doubt it was someone who's on, you know, close to minimum wage, 17 or 18, 19, 20, cutting the teeth in the job, finding, you know, what goes on in this world of social.
What not to do.
Yeah, what not to do, what to do. And the reason they've probably done it is because they've not been implemented with a proper strategy. They've not been given an actual guidance on what we should be doing, shouldn't be doing, an overall social media strategy. I don't think we've got that.
So I don't think a strategy to dig out of the clubs for no reason. That could be an agenda, couldn't it?
Well, it could be, but we're not doing it. We're not doing it very well. The way that that's okay, and the way that that tweet is absolutely fine, is if you've got a proper social media strategy in place, you know, brand pillars, guidelines, all that sort of stuff, like a Roma or a Borussia Dortmund or a Schalke, who are all very, very good at what they do. You know, they're involved with the latest, whatever trends are, memes, they take the piss out of all each other clubs, they get the piss taken back, you know, and it's fine, and that's very much what they're all about, and their social is known for that. Ours isn't known for being great piss takers.
Ours isn't known for much, really, is it?
Ours isn't known for anything, really.
Apart from this
now. So, you know, if anyone's listening from the club, especially Tony Scholes or whoever it might be, invest some time and money into our social media and everything that we're putting out. Do they realise that money can be made from this? You know, sponsorship deals for the amount of impressions we do on a Twitter feed for views.
Hey, you know, if they'd have marketed that tweet,
sponsored it. If you'd have had a little end card in there or a little graphic, it said Tile Mountain or whoever we've got as the sponsor, then I mean, 4 million impressions, they'd probably give you another couple of grand.
Yeah.
But, you know, someone at the club, this is a time to really take hold of this now. We've got a new manager in who's shaking things top to bottom, hopefully. Do it with the media side, do it with everything off the pitch, because, you know, that tweet has really embarrassed us and what we're about, and it's embarrassing once we deleted it. If we wanted to stay up and, you know, hold our hands up, fine, but we've obviously acknowledged that shouldn't have happened because we've deleted it.
It's the equivalent of just legging it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just legging
just throwing a grenade and running off. Don't sack the person who did it either. I don't believe they have, because, you know, we all make mistakes at that age, because I'm putting it down to that it was someone who's not been in the position very long or is just starting out. And that is my say on the matter. Just take the media more seriously.
It couldn't come in a better season, could it? You know what I mean?
I mean, like the season hasn't been embarrassing enough. We're starting 16th, going after clubs in the playoffs. Not wise at all. Stoke City, take more care in, you know, what we're putting out.
I see on your agenda there, Al.
Yeah.
Because this has been a negative one so far. It says best moments. Should we go for that?
Yeah, let's go into our best and worst moments of the season.
Let's raise it.
Do we want to? Do you want to do ours first or the fans? Because we've asked.
Let's do the fans, because they're more likely they're going to match, aren't they? Because there's only been like 4 of them.
Okay, let's have a look then. Jake Hall says moment of the season was when it ended.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and I've asked people to give the prediction. So hopefully top half next year.
Oh God.
Top half. Hoping for more than that.
Well, yeah, you have to, don't you? But I know where he's coming from, but I've got to just think promotion again. That's the only thing I can hope for.
And he's also asked a question: do you think we've lost some of our pull already after this season to sign players? Pundits were talking about big clubs in the Championship, mentioned Swansea and West Brom amongst others, but not us.
I think money talks, doesn't it? And I still think we'll be able to offer the average player a decent wage, better than average sort of that wage for that division. So it's all about the money. So not quite, no. We've got a good season too, of Paul. So.
Joe says his best moment was Tom Edwards' goal against Norwich.
Yeah.
Which was a great goal. Finally, so good to have an academy player in our starting 11. And next season, I think we should aim for the playoffs. I think that's all fair. Mm-hmm. Fine with that.
Yeah. Well done, Joe.
A lot of people who are saying about their best moment of the season was the ending, but Liam Devaney also mentions the Gordon Banks tribute was brilliant.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That was one thing that the club did nail.
They did, in a social media sense as well, they were great.
Yeah, they were great with all that live
Yeah.
stream, you know, the funeral, which was
yeah.
some great access for everyone all over the world to, you know, feel a part of that.
They've just released like a Banks range merchandise, haven't they, as well, and all the proceeds go to
charity.
I'm
not sure which, but yeah, because someone originally slated that because, you know, the club mentioned in the Supporters Council notes they wouldn't in any way profit or release merch of Gordon Banks, and then immediately contradicted themselves.
But it's all going to charity.
It's all charity.
There's nothing to argue against.
It's absolutely fine with, and it was actually a request to Gordon's family to do
Yeah.
that. So yeah, going by the Gordon Banks range. Again, Matt Garnett says his best moment was Tom Edwards' Thunderbolt versus Norwich, and he says hopefully a top half finish, but we'll miss out on the playoffs.
I just find that well, we've only read a few so far, but I'm surprised people are assuming that low. We could turn this round, we really could. We're still a very wealthy club for this division. I keep quoting what Norwich did the season before last. They finished lower mid. Things can be turned around. Just because we finished 16 doesn't mean we have to kind of work way up slowly now. We have to go mid-table next one, up at mid the next one. I don't know. There's no reason we can't go with it next year. I really think that.
Lewis's moment of the season was Ince's goal at Reading, and he says it's first time I've seen Stoke lead. What? It was the first time he'd seen Stoke in the lead live, and next season we're going up. Fuck the negativity.
First time you'd seen Stoke
in the lead live. I think it means winning a game live. It must be a young lad. I guess that's what he means.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Wardy. God, I'm speaking German. I mean, good or bad moment, he didn't know what to put, so he's put Bojan's equaliser at Rotherham.
Yeah, that was a good moment. Yeah.
And bad 90% of the season. But his prediction is Stoke to be finished between 7th and 10th, but look like a better team.
Okay.
Onto the Facebook side, his moment of Matthias Goldbrandt's season was that it finished, but he says next season he hasn't actually given us a prediction. He's just put a full season underneath with a player group tuned and motivated to follow his philosophy from the very first match.
Okay.
Owen Bloor says, how do you feel about contactless around the stadium? We've covered that. Buzzing. Yeah. Tom Edwards' goal was his moment, and his prediction is a top 8 finish.
I'm really surprised with these ones because I reckon if you told the Coates family that the goal was going to be mid-table, top 10 maybe, but not necessarily the playoffs, I think they'd be gutted at that. I think their whole thing would be Joe's now is promotion again.
I mean,
I'm not saying he'd go if we didn't get it, but I think we'd be very disappointed if we're not pushing for playoffs consistently.
Definitely. Leaf, there's a few more positive ones in here, Craig, don't worry. Lee Fulcher says Stoke will finish second. Kieran Downs says his prediction is second or the playoffs. Spencer Wright, a top fan, says push for promotion. Mm-hmm. James Priest says another top fan says beating Derby was his top
that was
moment.
Good with 10 minutes, just funny with
the
Derby
wankers, he says. And next season playoffs, Lee Gregory top scorer with 15 goals. Paul Clifford, another top fan, is pre-match at Pasta di Piazza, which is a beautiful restaurant, by the way. That is his best moment of the season, is the win against Leeds.
Yeah, it was good as well, wasn't it? Brief hope there that we might be able to mount some sort of promotion challenge, but that faded quick, but yeah.
And I think that is about it for the Facebook comments. There is a few more, such as Lee Davis, who's quite negative. He says his target for next season is to avoid relegation. You're not happy with that, are you, Craig?
No, surely not.
Not happy with that one. Let's get on to the Instagram comments.
I'm not saying we're going to destroy this division at all, and there's a very, very good chance we're not going up next year. But I still think people do ignore how wealthy Stoke is for this division, and ultimately money does kind of get you places in football. I know we're a mess on the pitch, and there's several elements behind the scenes where it's not great, but we still have got decent financial clout for this division, and if you get that right, you're going to be up there.
On the Instagram, moment of the season is beating Derby with 10 men, very satisfying, says Matt Stokey. Matt Bennett says moment of the season was Gary Rowett being sacked. Matthew Short Gallery says a solid 5th, hopefully, in the league. And again, beating Derby was his highlight of the season. Sam Clough's highlight was Cuco Martina going back to Everton. and hearing Nathan Jones say God's will at least 100 times.
I've got to go in my head now.
Harry Wakeford, his prediction is to finish between 2nd and 6th, another positive one.
Okay, coming in now, that's better.
And beating Leeds 2-1, which is also Lewis Ogle's moment of the season. Dan Mazars is Etpo's goal v Blackburn. Thinks we're going to finish 6th. Curtis Mountford says we'll finish 10th, and the Derby game was his highlight. Antes was the Shawcross goal at the end of the season. And there's a lot of people who say the final whistle. There's so many of them.
Running gag there, isn't there?
So many of them.
I mean, it's sad to think that, having gone through all their messages, we can pretty much count the good moments on one hand, and we're not exaggerating that point, are we?
No.
Leeds victory, Derby victory, Edwards goal, and the Banks kind of memorial that sort of day.
What's your moment, though? If you've got to give me one, you've said there wasn't.
You know what?
Said you could count them on your hands. So.
You know what? I think the season's been an absolute washout, but I think the way the club treated Banks' death was great. I think it was a really touching day, moment, and to the memory of Gordon Banks. I didn't actually ponder it until someone said it, but thinking back from the season, that is the one thing that's probably going to stick with me. It
stands out, and we
won the odd game, but who cares in the grand scheme of things? I think that was a special moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Season.
It was over the course of a week or so. From when all the flowers were arriving near the statue, and they just built and built and built until there was tons of them. To the players.
Oh, it's incredible.
To the funeral itself. The live stream where everyone got involved and see the service, which was very moving. To then the match day itself. The mosaic, Jack Butland wearing the retro keeper kit. It was all done brilliantly. So to say. So that is a very. I'm sure that'll live long.
I don't know who posted that, but I think that was common question of the podcast. That's a really, really good point, and I myself was forgetting that a little bit, but that was a special moment in the 100%. Otherwise awful
if you do
season.
have to do though a footballing one,
Derby at home, just because of all the stick route was getting and all the Derby fans bringing steaks with them and all that stuff, and it was highly satisfying to beat them with 10 men, was the ice on the cake of that.
And the A50 was closed.
Which was nice.
I'm going to go for Edwards' goal.
Yeah,
just because he's a homegrown lad. Wilco never managed to do it.
No.
He's a screamer as well.
He's a good goal.
So he's got one under his belt now, and I think he's very much, he missed out on player of the season, but he's very much established himself now with one of the best performers this season. A young lad who can now go on to nail down that position.
100%. I mean, I think he will be in the Prem at some point. With or without Stoke, I'm not sure, but I think he's Prem bound. I think he needs to work on a few little positioning things in defensive sense, but as a footballer, he's a real quality footballer. I think with the right coaching, he could play in midfield. I think he's a great footballer, but
got great delivery on it.
He has, yeah. When he gets a set piece right, it's fantastic.
So predictions. And I'm sure some other channels will watch this and try and clip it up again and make us look really bad. But predictions for next season.
First by 30 points. I reckon this is going to be such a cop out to say. I'm hoping. My hope is that we will be top 6, but I truly do not know, because Jones has said he wants 6-7 out, 6-7 in, and I don't know how at the moment you're meant to predict on that.
Without those players.
Quantities. But I like to think. Keep quoting. We've got the money to attract a certain type of player. I still have faith in Jones. I'm going to quote top 6. Bit vague, but I just think we've got the vague infrastructure to have a go at the top 6.
No, I'm going to say playoffs.
Yeah,
I think we'll get in the playoffs, or just miss out. But
and that's not. I know we were 16th. I don't feel like that's just being arrogant. I do think this season was a bit of an anomaly. It was bizarre. Nothing. It was like the opposite of like the clouds aligning. It was just. Everything went wrong that could have gone wrong this season. Rowan didn't work, we got the wrong players in. Just rubbish. Didn't work.
Yeah. I'm going to say playoffs. Like I say, when you get relegated, it's really hard to shift that feeling when you get relegated. And it was stuck around with so many bad apples.
I don't know why though, because I look at West Brom, Swansea to a lesser extent, but West Brom certainly didn't have that kind of hangover.
No, but I think it's just the mentality of the players and the personnel involved, so to say. People just picking up a wage and not really being too arsed. People at the ends of their careers, so to say. So hopefully a little better next season.
I just want, because the season was done in February, wasn't it? Arguably even January, and we've not really gone to a Stoke game since Feb with any real excitement. Something to look forward to. You go to them because you go to them, but there's been nothing in it.
Yeah.
I've not feel like a proper
Something to look forward to would be nice. Go to fight
exactly.
for, be in the race for.
Just not relegation battle.
So that's been the Bear Pit Pod. Season review done. We'll be back. Not for a while now.
No.
Not for a few months or so. So, you know, stay on the Facebook account, Twitter. There'll be some stuff posted on there. There'll be some videos. We're going to be trying some new stuff with some potentially new people. So I'd say keep an eye out for what we might have coming up on the Bear Pit TV.
It's going to be an extremely busy summer.
Yes.
It's going to be like pretty consistent, isn't it? Links.
It is.
Players in and out and stuff.
It's going to be interesting. And I also want to give a shout out before we do go as well. Ben Rowley, who used to do stuff for us, has started his own podcast. Have you seen it? It's called the YYY.
Yeah, I saw him actually.
Yeah, it's
after the game.
It's quite an interesting little concept. I was on the first episode.
Yeah,
Giving my Stoke story, so go and check that out.
So what is the concept with that? Is he just kind of picking moments or
no anyone and everyone comes on and you go through a sort of template and fill out your Stoke memories, childhood, your match day routine, your all-time Stoke 11, any other business and conversations that you want to have about the club, any moments meeting players, all that, and you just build your profile. That's your story.
Yeah.
And you're just building a collection of them from whatever Stoke fans want to go on. So if you are listening, you want to go on, go and check out the YYY. I'm sure he'll ask you at some point as well.
Sounds good, yeah.
But that has been the Bear Pit Pod. We'll be gone now for a few months. Are you going away on holiday anywhere, Craig?
Nothing booked. Just be away. I'm going to Glastonbury. That's mini holiday, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah,
you
love your music.
I do. Yeah,
love your music festivals. I'm off to Nations League. Watch England win a trophy.
The plan was actually to go there, but I've got a wedding right in the middle of that.
That screwed that up.
As a little bit.
Maybe I can get some joy with England.
Maybe.
But that has been the Bear Pit Pod. We'll be back in a few months or so. Stay tuned to the Facebook, Twitter page, Instagram, all that stuff. Make sure to drop us a like wherever you're listening or watching. YouTube, Acast, SoundCloud, Spotify. There's one I missed. I always miss one.
You should don't know.
I think I did them.
People should know by now.
But that has been the Bear Pit Pod. Thank you very much for watching.
Cheers. Bye-bye.